I'd like to welcome forward our stewardship speaker for this week, Libby Clarke.
Good morning, my friend. It's so good to talk to you. Now, I'm going to take a little bit of a different tack. First of all, I'm going to set my stopwatch because I'm a talker. But I wanted to talk to you about time, talent, and treasure. These are the means by which we are given to live into our faith here in the world. Now, as I have grown in my faith and have grown in my practice, I've realized that time, talent, and treasure form an X, Y, and Z axis, an amorphic, three-dimensional blob of love of God that I live with, that I live in, that colors the way I see the world, and every one of you has one too. I'm going to ask you to join me in a little bit of a visualization. Your amorphic, evolving blob of God before you. Mine is slightly green, like the color of asparagus in the fields that I grew up on. Oh my gosh, it's huge. There's a huge one over the choir. Dr. Moore's is plaid. I don't know why. There's Bowie's. All of yours. We're going to join them together because there's a compound effect of God's love. What we can do individually, I'm about to fall off of this. Sorry, it's bolted in. I move a lot. What we do individually, only so big, but oh my gosh. As we join ours together, the light and the love, the potential and realized love of God seeps between the bricks of this building. It's actually lifting it up as we stand here. It's seeping into the ground upon which we stand. The light and the love of God, just of the people in this building and online. Hi. Look at what we can do together, because the compounding love of God lifts us out of ourselves through time and talent and treasure. Now, when I came to this church, I had a lot of time and talent on my hands. Treasure, not so much. So I gave time and talent. I started going to committees. I'm now part of the vestry. I started working on projects around the church. I started designing things around the church. These things are growing, great, but not without everybody else. Join me. If you've yet to pledge, give what you can, because the compounding effect of God's love will take whatever you can give and turn it into something that will change the world. Now, let's go back to our enormous, amorphic blob of God's love. It's huge. It's reaching down into Milburn. It's changing things up on these, well, where are Short Hills in relation to, anyway, wrong question, wrong time. 2.5 minutes, okay. But let's go back to that large, glowing ball of realized and potential God's love. And let's imagine it joining with St. Stephen's and joining with the diocese, all the churches in the diocese, and all the other people of faith. It is literally a worldwide force of God's love with whatever you give. Spend time in a committee or start a project, start a ministry here in the church. This is a framework of service. We use the word of Jesus, the teachings of Jesus, to frame our efforts. We can change the world. I don't mean to be so much, but God gave me that gift too. I'm a lot. And I want you to know that you matter, whatever you can give. What I would love to see in my time here at Christ Church is 100% pledging. Not because we need the money for that tote bag that's coming in the mail. No, because as Peter said that God used Jesus as ransom for us. If we give what we can of our harvest, a sustainable amount, by the way, we can do this for as long as the church survives. We've been doing this for thousands of years now. Join me. I not in every quadrant. I'm given 10% at least a few. I bring up 10%. Oh, that's the last of the 4 T's. I'm going to mention tithing, not because it's a strict measure of what I do in every area of my life, but because it's such a healthy limit. If you think that you give and you're going to be extracted from, these are not extractive principles. We are a resurrection people. What you give today, you need to wake up refreshed tomorrow. We're not going to empty the coffers for the church. We're going to build something together. Sustainable, manageable, loving, continued. Please join me. I love being a member of this church. I have changed as a member of this church. How I start my harvest, tend my harvest my harvest, give my harvest, all of it's different now. Because of me being a member of this church, because I've been transformed. Please join me. And any fears of first of all, it's not a cult. Look at this. People always worry about that. I'm like, 10% is the most they're going to ever ask. But secondly, I'm making light of some things here, but just join and let yourself grow. Join and let yourself unfurl. And know that you are within the framework not only of this congregation, but of the Episcopal Church, of the faith we serve, of the God we serve. You are worthy, you are ready, you are welcome. 5.5 minutes. So I'm okay. I was told 5 minutes and it made me very nervous. But actually, beyond everything, just join me. And right now, what I want you to do is to join me with your morphic blobs of lived God's love. I want you to now join me in an amen. And I'd like you to give your all. 1, 2,